What's good, y'all? It is Keys with the Self Network, and I got something to talk about. And it's partially about Drake, but it ain't really just about him. I think it's an overall conversation that need to be had, right? And it's about blackness and what that is, and kind of just getting into, I mean, this video, you could say this video is about 2 years old. This video could have been happened. I don't know if people will get into these talking points that I'm gonna get into, but some people maybe have. But it is a conversation that I had with one of the homegirls on Clubhouse, and I don't agree with all of what she say about blackness, but one thing stood out that really made me think, right? And the point that she made was like, basically, blackness runs through the black mother. And when you think about it, it's kind of like this is the point that I agree with her with. I ain't gonna talk about the other stuff that we talked about that I don't really agree with. But I agree with that point. Once I start thinking about it, I'm like, damn. Blackness may run through the mother line, almost how like the Jewish people say, like, the Jewishness runs through your mother line, right? I kind of agree with that being with the blackness. When you think about it, right? Your mom is the person that's going to pass down a lot of things, right? Your dad passed down some things, but think about the person who is doing the nurturing for the most part, right? Growing up, your mom is going to nurture you. She's going to teach you culture just in the house. She's going to literally teach you about your lineage and about your culture. Not saying that your dad won't, but in just like traditional households, right? The mom is more likely to spend more time with the baby more than a man, right? On some traditional shit. I definitely think like nowadays we kind of rewriting this, right? Especially being a black man, where in the past a lot of fathers wasn't around. The mom took that responsibility of passing traditions, passing food, passing, history, all types of stuff down to the child. So in a lot of ways, she's absolutely correct. And so this is why I get into Drake. And so a lot of people think, well, not a lot, but it's some people who think that when Kendrick say Drake is not like us, it's not because he's a mixed person. In fact, if you look back in history, it's been a lot of mixed people who really put their life on the line for black issues. So it's definitely not that. And so I think it's this thing where, with us, with black people, we kind of give him a pass because he has a black father. But when you start to do research into his life, right? When you look into Drake's life, his father wasn't really around like that, y'all. So when you start thinking about that, he was raised by his Jewish mom. If anything, Drake is a Jewish man. He has black DNA, but culturally, he's more Jewish than he is black. Let's be real. He's only gotten black being around the people that he's around, right? But realistically, when you look at videos of young Drake, you could tell that he wasn't around black people like that. Like, you got to do your own homework. And I'm not saying that we should take his nigga card, his black card, right? But it just make you think why we have a lot of black coons running around. And I wouldn't call Drake a black coon, but I feel like it's also like a piece missing because his dad wasn't around to instill blackness in him. Right? And let me get this right. Let me tell y'all, like, it's not like, let's just say you're a black person with a black family raised in the suburbs. You're still black, right? Your family, you were raised by black parents just in the suburbs. You're still a black person. That's different from a person who has a white mom raised in the suburbs. Like, listen to how I'm breaking this down. He's a mixed kid who dad wasn't there, so he was predominantly raised as a Jewish man. Right? That's different from the first scenario, right? That's more like when you see black kids that get adopted into white families, but at a young age. Not like a that's not like a black kid who's like 15, 16 who got took away from their parents and put into a foster home and the parents are white. That's a little bit different because the first 15 years you was raised with your black family. No, it's more like Drake is more like a black kid who was adopted by a white family when he was a baby. At that point, that black baby, even though his DNA is black, culturally, he's white. Now, like I said, am I taking his black card? No, nothing like that. But look who he surround himself around. Yes, he got songs with Future and 21 and this, that, and the third, but he also fancies himself around a lot of white streamers who also do a lot of fishy shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Specifically Aiden Ross. He has put on black people, but he like to play the fence and play around with white supremacists. And give them bags of money and shit like that. So it's a weird little situation there, right? So you just gotta pay attention to that. But like I said, it go through the mom. If it, however your mom is, right? You tend to look for that into the woman that you're mating with. Not in a sense like you want someone to be your mom, but you're going to look at somebody who has those values, which is why you see a lot of these mixed people who moms are white. They end up with a white woman or like white adjacent, right? I could name off a bunch. I don't really want to, but for those who know, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is why when the lady that I was talking to told me that, I really set back with it, because I low-key pushed back a little bit when she initially said it. But I had to sit back and really think about it, and she absolutely right. Most of the mixed coons that we see, they mama is white. Most of the mixed people that go for white women, they mama is white. I'm just saying, bro. It's like y'all like the white people like to say. It's just pattern recognition. I'm not racist, right? I'm not racist, but it's just something that I see. Even Drake himself fell within the trap. You know, he probably for sure loved black women, but look who his baby mama is. So it's just something with this that I'm saying, right? So anybody who has a situation like Drake where you're a mixed kid, you're a mixed person, right? And then the black person that helped make you not in your life, you're more white than you are black. Just because your DNA is 50-50 means absolutely nothing. Because culturally, you're disconnected from your culture. And it's not about ghetto culture. Like, I feel like people out there like to make black culture all about ghetto culture when that's not it. That's not it at all. Ghetto culture is like a subculture within black culture, just how like white trash culture is a subculture of white European culture, right? It's not the whole thing. So when I say black culture, I talk about shit like our hairstyles, the way we talk, AAVE, right? What else? The way we dress, right? Not necessarily the guns and shit like that. That's not really, you know what I'm saying? We all got, like, when people like to say violence is black culture, nigga, violence is human culture. Every culture has some type of violence attached to their culture, right? Or like a warrior like side of their culture. And a lot of the quote unquote thugs at this moment just represents the warring faction of black culture, but it's not the full thing, right? But yeah, ghetto culture is a subculture, and we, you know, it's been so influential because that's the side that white America loves from us. So a lot of black people understand, like, oh, if I show them some nigga shit, they go crazy, and that's what they actually want to see, right? But it's a subculture. Like, how about, like I said, the way we dress. When you go into a black church, like the way people dress up and put that shit on in those black churches, the big hats, the nice colorful dresses and stuff like that. The black girls with the pigtails and the twisty braids with the barrettes, and like, that type of shit is our culture. Double Dutch, Like we got hella shit that's literally Black American culture that has nothing to do with just like ghetto culture. Like we got a lot of shit. We got hella shit. Like it's crazy. Our music, like literally Black Americans have influenced pretty much most Western music in the last like 100 years. From blues, jazz, we influence metal, rock and roll, like R&B, rap, like all this shit is Black American culture. But y'all love to focus on the violence aspect of us. And that just let me know. Damn, I gotta okay. That just let me know. Us know, or it should let us know how a lot of y'all feel about us, because y'all go straight to the violence and not the good shit that we provide to the world. So yeah, we got hella shit. We got our own food, soul food. Like soul food encompass so much shit. It's not just fried chicken and collard greens and shit and mac and cheese. Like it's way more into that. We definitely don't tap into everything to show y'all, but like come on y'all, gumbo, jambalaya. Like I know that's that's a specific region, but this is stuff that we actually make and it's even tied to our African roots. But then again, y'all only look at us as niggas. But I kind of got off my whole tangent about certain shit, but the culture is way more than nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we love that too, but it's a subculture. It's not as big as y'all like to make it seem, right? Just how the thug, the hood shit is just it's a subgenre. It's not that many people in the hoods across the world that's really gangster. That's a small group of people, right? But yet, y'all focus on that. But yeah, though, that's just something that I really had on my chest, and I mean I could divulge a little bit deeper with that specific talking point, but I don't really want to at this time. I just think that yeah, like with blackness, man, it's so complex. You know what I'm saying? Especially with it being like so, like us as African Americans, we're a group of people who are a mixture of the African people, and we're basically kind of we lost what our connection to the home, to our motherland, and we just like all mixed together. It's a gumbo. So it's a lot, you know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't give it up. I wouldn't give it up at all. But I also just look at it like that. Like, this is it's a lot. It's a lot. But yeah, man. Oh, my last and final point. You have to, with black kids, right? With black children, you have to teach them what blackness is, and you have to put them on the history. If not, they're gonna grow up to be a coon, right? America will make you a coon because that's just the default setting, right? If you don't sit back and unlearn a lot of shit, you basically will be born to hate yourself, because on the TV they show you to hate yourself, right? Every time they show black people, for the most part, they try to show us as bad people. You know, they always trying to show us in a bad light. And that within itself is bad, especially when you're in the propaganda capital of the fucking world, right? People all around the world watch our content and the shit that we create. And for the most part, they show black people in a bad light every time, right? We just now getting to a point where they showing positive images of black people. And when they start to do that, people, white people specifically, not all of y'all, but enough to see it, right? Y'all get angry at seeing positive black images. Even when it's like black people taking over fictional characters where them being white really didn't matter to their story, right? If it's a black person that they change where whiteness is pretty much baked into the character, then I would get it. Like if it's a black Steve Rogers, right? Not Captain America, because it's already a black Captain America. But if it's a black Steve Rogers, then I get why you would be a little upset about him being a black man. Just like if it was a white T'Challa. I'm not going for no white T'Challa. I get that, because those two characters' races heavily determines the character. That's why we like Steve Rogers, because he was a white man during World War II who was super progressive, and at that time he was like real as shit. Like he like, hey man, we don't care about none of that. We're standing on justice, on morals, principles. That's why we like Steve Rogers, right? And him being a white man, it adds extra to his character. Same way you don't want to see Bruce Wayne as a black man. Him being a white man kind of adds to his character. That was a part of his character. But I believe Steve Rogers is a better example though, because it really adds to that dimension, right? Yeah, so back to Drake. So with Drake, it's not that you a mixed person why we say you're not like us, or Kendrick brought up that you're not like us. Nigga, you didn't get into blackness until you were about 17, 18, bro. And we could tell because the videos out there where you were talking about the Jamaican accent and patois, and you were talking down on it. But now you do it. But at that time, you were talking down on it. I get it. People can change. But you were talking down on it. And you kind of was sounding very, like, pretentious with how you kind of broke it down, and kind of like, yeah, they don't talk like, yeah, it's like wild. Like, it sounded very white. Because that's who you are in the core. That's who that man is. That's a white man. he got black skin, but he got a white face. Like, not literally. He's DNA wise, he's black. But this is what happens. So this is also why it's important for, if you are in an interracial couple, right, to teach black man, black woman, to teach your child what blackness is. It's very important. It's very important to teach that. Because if you don't, especially the black man, because y'all the ones creating the coons. Like, when the mom is the black, when the mom is black, they tend to make less coons. Like, I don't know what it is. But they tend not to make coons. Right? And for the people who are adopted, I kind of feel for you, because your blackness is kind of like determined by you really yearning to want to be attached to your culture, and you go learn it. Right? You got to pray and hope that you find a group of black people that you really fuck with, that you could grow with and learn certain codes. Because 9 times out of 10, a person who have enough money to adopt a black child is not going to be the type of white people that live next to black people. Almost never happens. But if it do happens, right, those black people can actually give you some of the traditions. But if you don't, you just gonna become a Drake type dude. Or even worse, because Drake, like I said, even though Drake do questionable shit, you could tell he put in a little time to still attach himself to the culture, even though he himself feels like an outsider, right? Because look at the difference between a J. Cole and a Drake. The only thing different between these two is Cole lived in a trailer park. Drake kind of lived in a place that had a little more bread. And I think J. Cole, I think his mom might have remarried, and she remarried a black man. So that's the difference, right? J. Cole had blackness within his household, even though his mom is white. Both of them have similar upbringings, but the only thing different is Cole still had black role models around him to still kind of build who he is. Cole is not really insecure about being a mixed nigga. Right? And the way he look at it, he like, nigga, I'm black as shit. And so, yeah, man. This shit is crazy how you could break that down. But yeah, man. Just look at it, bro. Like, look at it. Look at this shit. It's crazy how these two have similar upbringings, but the only thing different is Cole had a black stepfather, and he was raised around other black people. Drake wasn't. This is why I'm telling you, bro. I'm stressing it. I'm saying it over and over because I'm stressing to y'all who love this interracial shit. Bring your kids up into blackness. And if you can't do it, Send their ass to a HBCU so they could get it on an educational way, like in an educational way, and get the culture shock. Because I'm telling you, it when a black man or a woman have like low racial self-esteem, you get people like Candace Owens, you get people like the Hodge twins, you get people somewhat like Drake, where it's kind of like you got a weird relationship with your blackness. He not like the other people that I named now. Like I said, Drake is not a coon though. He's not 100% a coon, but he's still like when black shit happening, you see Drake don't have nothing to say about it. Like when real black issues come up, Drake is quiet as a fucking mouse. And that's another thing, like, this is going to be my last point, and then I'm going to end this video. This video is getting too long. I didn't really put my thoughts together correctly. I'm all over the place. I'm like Kanye without index cards right now. But, yeah, like I said, when it's black issues, Drake is quiet as a mouse. And if he was in the black tradition, he could have highlighted so much shit within the black community. And there's probably some people who may come into this video and say, like, why do we need artists to talk about black issues? That's always been the black tradition, especially for our superstars. You can't be a superstar and not really fuck with black people like that. And this is another thing about Drake too. He's not tethered to blackness because those wasn't his first fans. When Drake got on, he got on because he had a spot on Degrassi, and so it opened up. He already had fans and shit like that to fuck with him, right? With some of these other artists, nigga, they started, like, you could go on YouTube right now and see how Kendrick Lamar started rapping, or the crowd of people that he was rapping in front of. It's a video where you see him battling, and it's a bunch of blood niggas around him watching him battle, right? They literally surrounded him, right? And I get it, like, not the gang shit specifically, but it was nothing but black niggas around him. That's how he got his start. That's how a lot of black artists started. So you have an obligation. Like, Drake is literally the only black artist that could say, like, well, I didn't really start with black people in mind. I didn't really have them as my audience starting off, right? With most black artists that start from ground level, when you're around black people, they were your first audience. You have an obligation. Kendrick Lamar has an obligation to talk about black issues because black people gave him his first platform. And that goes for a lot of these other artists. And it's not just Drake. That goes for a lot of these artists. Black people was your first audience. How dare you betray black people when these people gave you your platform? So that's where it gets bad with a lot of these artists. Y'all get on and y'all forget who put y'all there. Right? It's not the white motherfuckers. It took black people to hype you up first so the white people can see your talent. Otherwise, they wouldn't have seen you. That's why you have an obligation to to talk about black issues. And like I said, it's black tradition for superstars to talk about black issues. Billie Holiday, right? When she talked about the strange fruit. Um, James Brown, I'm black and I'm proud. It's a man's world, but it won't be nothing without a woman or a girl. Like, he was putting this shit and mind you, James Brown and Drake are a lot alike in certain ways, just because they both make like party music, right? James Brown was able to still put the blackness into his shit. Michael Jackson, you like to compare yourself to Michael Jackson, but yet you don't have a Earth song. You don't have a They Don't Really Care About Us. You don't have shit. Black and White, We Are the World. Like, he don't have none of these type of songs that connected motherfuckers to do something. His closest song is God's Plan. And God's Plan, he talked about itself. Like, think about that. Who else? Shit, Marvin Gaye, What's Going On? What's Going On? What's Going On? All these songs, Aretha Franklin, I really respect. Like, that, what y'all think them songs was? Like, it's a tradition to put our struggles and our reality into these songs. That's the least you can do. Niggas not even asking you to give up bread, bruh. Just tell the fucking truth. What's actually going on. But yeah, that's my TED Talk. We getting too deep into this. But if you have any ideas you want me to talk about, just put it in the comment. I'll probably look at the comments and see if you want me to, and if I like it, I talk about it. But yeah, I still got to do that Asada review. Man, I just been bullshitting, man. I gotta hop on that. But yeah, man, I'm up out of here, man.